I recommend that we go back to open session.
Oh, yes,
Well,
that's right.
Can you, actually, you gotta come in first and then
We gotta
go
what?
out of closed session.
I said you're loving your promotion.
Are you live? Okay.
Okay, welcome back. We're out of closed session. Can we please take a,
Do we vote to go out of
yeah,
closed session?
can you put a motion on the table to go out of?
We need to make a motion to return to open
No,
session.
you gotta end closed session.
It says it right here, that the Crestwood Board of Education return to open session.
Yeah, we go.
Yes.
That's how you're ending,
Okay.
by ending closed.
If I may, Madam President,
There,
you have to make a motion to return to open session. Once that motion is approved, then you
And
make
you
a
adjourn
motion
closed
to
session.
adjourn closed session.
okay, we have a motion to return to open session.
I supported it.
Okay, we have a motion from, I guess, like, it's gonna be me, and support by Ms. Kaminsky. Please take roll.
Mrs. Berry?
Here.
Mrs. Elzayat?
Here,
Mrs. Fawaz? Here. Mr. Garcia is absent. Myself? Here. Ms. Kaminsky?
Here.
Mr. Sabo?
Here.
Motion passes.
Okay, now we have a motion to get out of this, study session and go into the regular meeting. We need to vote on that?
That was at 7:02.
You need to
We need to close it?
You need to
Yes,
close
we're
first.
We're closing up. We adjourn, yes, we're adjourning this meeting. Please take roll.
So who made the motion?
I
Adjourn?
did, I'm
Yeah.
making
I'll
the motion to
Okay. Mo.
adjourn
Sabo.
closed session,
7:02.
study session.
Okay, Mrs. Berry, are
Yes.
all those in favor? do I
Yes.
understand?
Aye.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We're going into open. The Board of Education, okay, I
So you're
needed my
just gonna
book.
call it to order.
We're gonna call the meeting to order at 7:03 PM. Ms. Janoun, please take roll.
Mrs. Berry,
Here.
Mrs. Elzayat,
Here.
Mrs. Fawaz,
Here.
Mr. Garcia is absent, myself here, Ms. Kaminsky,
Here.
Mr. Sabo.
Here.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the consent agenda, please, Ms. Janoun?
What, Madam Chair?
Yes.
Before we get to the consent agenda, I wanted to add, or amend the agenda to add hazard pay. I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hazard pay stipend as outlined, and I'd like that added to the agenda.
Okay, we have a motion from Ms. Kaminsky. Any support? Anybody want to support that?
Support.
Support by Ms. Janoun, that we amend the agenda and add hazard pay, and that was 5,
Business report.
business report number 5. Okay. Ms.
We need
Janoun,
to vote.
I'm sorry? Do we have to vote on that now?
Yes.
Okay,
All those in favor?
You're
all
voting
those
on
in
the
favor
amended
signify by
agenda.
saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So you have to remind me where that is, under business. Okay, Ms. Janoun, if you can read the consent agenda.
Sure. Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include the September 27th, 2021 board agenda, the minutes from the study session on Monday, September 13th, 2021, the minutes from the regular meeting on Monday, September 13th, 2021, and the minutes from the special meeting on Monday, September 20th, 2021.
Support?
Support.
Mr. Sabo? We have a motion on the floor of the consent agenda. Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include the September 27th, 21 board agenda, the minutes from the study session on Monday, September 13th, 2021, the minutes from the regular meeting on Monday, September 13th, 2021, and the minutes from the special meeting on Monday, September 2021. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to the business report. Ms. Penny Morgan.
Thank you. Number 1, approval of requisitions. The attached list of requisitions are items that buildings or departments would like to purchase for their upcoming needs. The requisitions have gone through all the appropriate approval processes and have been approved by administration for purchase. In addition, there are funds available to make these purchases. Once the requisitions are approved, they will be processed and purchase orders will be sent out.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Sabo.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the requisitions per attachment 4A1.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor from Mr. Sabo, supported by Ms. Elzayat, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the requisition for attachment 4A1. All in favor, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 2, approval of confirming purchase orders. The attached confirming purchase orders are items that needed to be processed prior to the board approval. The purchases consisted of robotics orders.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Elzayat.
recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the confirming purchase orders per attachment 4A2.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor from Ms. Elzayat, supported by Ms. Janoon, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the confirming purchase orders per attachment 4A2. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 3, approval of Williams Early Childhood Services LLC contract. As part of our GSRP contract, the district is required to have an early childhood specialist, or ECS, as part of the team. The purpose of the ECS is to be a catalyst for continuous quality improvements for GSRP. The contract will run September 2021 through June of 2022 in the amount of $31,200. The district has contracted the Williams Early Childhood Consulting since the position was mandated by the state of Michigan in 2017. The contents of the attached contract meet the needs of the district and are comparable to the previous years. The contract is funded out of GSRP.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Elzayat.
recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the contract with Williams Early Childhood Consulting for the 2021-2022 school year in the amount of $31,200 per attachment 4A3.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Elzayat, supported by Ms. Kaminsky, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the contract with Williams Early Childhood Consulting for the 21-22 school year in the amount of $31,200 per attachment 4A3. Is there any discussion? I have something to say. I want to say congratulations to you guys for taking advantage of what the state is offering and taking those extra slots. That was a very smart move on your part.
Thank
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 4, approval of IDEA agreements. Each year, Crestwood School District receives IDEA funds through Wayne RESA. The funds are utilized to provide supplemental services to students with disabilities. The district normally receives funds identified as IDEA flow-through and IDEA preschool. This year, we received an additional allocation identified as ARP preschool. The funds must be spent according to federal compliance. The agreements are attached for your review.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Kaminsky.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the 2021-2022 IDEA and ARP agreements as per attachment 4A4.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor from Ms. Kaminsky, supported by Ms. Janoon, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the 21-22 IDEA and ARP agreement as per attachment 4A4. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 5, approval of hazard pay. Over the course of the 2020-2021 school year, we have had our ups and downs with COVID-19. Through it all, we have had some extremely dedicated staff that have supported the district, our students, and community without question. Crestwood administration would like to recognize their hard work, dedication, and perseverance during this difficult time. In order to do so, we are recommending that we provide a one-time, non-recurring tiered hazard pay stipend as outlined in the attached memo. The staff at the Crestwood School District has shown time and again their commitment to the district, students, and community. Their service is a testament to the community being created, and we'd like to thank each and every one of them.
Okay, make recommendation.
We,
You gotta read the recommendation.
okay. Madam Chair,
Yes.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hazard pay stipend as outlined in attachment 4A5.
Support.
Support by Ms. Elzayat. Okay, we have a motion on the floor from Ms. Kaminsky, supported by Ms. Elzayat, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hazard pay stipend as outlined in 4A5. Any discussion? I have something to say. I want to thank the board for taking the time and doing their diligent work to make sure that this was equitable. And thank you to the administration. And yes, we do have a terrific staff. We wish we could do more. And we appreciate everything you have done for us and for our students. With that, any other comments? Okay, well, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I have one informational item. As you alluded to previously, President Berry, we did add a GSRP classroom at Cherry Hill, so we do have a 4th classroom now.
That's wonderful. And the nice thing is the increase that the state has given, which we would be foolish not to take advantage of that. So thank you again for doing that. All righty, on to the personnel report.
Good evening, Board. So our action items today, the first action item is the appointment of Food Services Lunch Monitor, Ms. Hiba L. Shamley. As a mother of 3, Ms. L. Shamley enjoys preparing and serving food. She prides herself on being friendly and quick on her feet, and she is excited to start her new job in food services.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Kaminsky.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Heba El-Shami as a lunch monitor for the 2021-2022 school year according to the CFS contract, Step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law, see 5A1.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor from Ms. Kaminsky, supported by Mr. Sabal, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Hiba El-Shami as a lunch monitor for the 21-22 school year, according to the CFS contract, Step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law, see attachment 5A1. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Welcome to Ms. El-Shami.
Our second action item is the appointment of Food Services Lunch Monitor, Ms. Sumaya Mawari. Ms. Mawari is a mother of 5 students currently attending the Crestwood schools. She has experience working in food services and is looking forward to now joining the food service team at Crestwood.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Elzayat.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Sumaya Mawari as a lunch monitor for the 2021-2022 school year, according to the CFS contract, Step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A2.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Elzayat, supported by Mr. Sabal, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Sumaya Mawari as a lunch monitor for the 21-22 school year, according to the CFS contract, Step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A2. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And welcome to Ms. El-Mawari.
Action item number 3 is the appointment of Food Services Lunch Monitor, Ms. Ruwa Abraham. Ms. Abraham has worked as a cook for more than 12 years and loves working with children.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Kaminsky.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Rawa Ibrahim as a lunch monitor for the 2021-2022 school year according to the CFS contract, Step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other documentation, employment documentation, as required by law, see attachment 5A3.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor from Ms. Kaminsky, supported by Mr. Sabo, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Rawa Abraham as lunch monitor for the 21-22 school year according to the CFS contract, Step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A3. Any discussion? I just want to say how grateful we are that these employees are coming to us, because we know what's happening out there. It's very hard to get good employees. With that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Action item number 4 is the appointment of Food Services Lunch Monitor, Ms. Amal Al-Halawi. Ms. Halawi is a mother of 2 and has both personal and professional experience in food service as well as in the restaurant business. She feels her experience and ability to work well with children will ensure she is successful as a monitor.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Fawaz.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Amal Halawi as a lunch monitor for the 2021-2022 school year according to the CFS contract step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A4.
Support.
We have a motion from Ms. Fawaz, supported by Mr. Sabo, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Amal Halawi as a lunch monitor for the 21-22 school year according to the CFS contract, step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A4. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Welcome to Amal Halawi.
Action item number 5 is the appointment of Food Services Lunch Monitor, Ms. Hayat Al-Hadawi. Ms. Al-Hadawi is excited to work in a school environment and is familiar with work in schools through supporting her children in their education.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Sabo.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Hayat Al-Hadawi as a lunch monitor for the 2021-2022 school year according to the CFS contract step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A5.
Support.
We have a motion from Mr. Sabal, supported by Ms. Janoon at the Crestwood Board of Education. Approve the hiring of Hayat Al-Hadawi as a lunch monitor for the 21-22 school year according to the CFS contract, step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Welcome to Hayat Al-Hadawi.
Action item number 6 is the appointment of Food Services Lunch Monitor, Ms. Nasreen Slim. Ms. Slim has worked in data entry and has experience as a receptionist. Through her experience as a nanny and her love for helping children, she's very excited to begin this new position.
Madam Chair,
Ms. El-Zayat.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Nasreen Slim as a lunch monitor for the 2021-2022 school year according to the CFS contract step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A6.
We have a motion from Ms. El-Zayat, supported by Ms. Janoon at the Crestwood Board of Education. Approve the hiring of Nasreen Slim as a lunch hour monitor for the 21-22 school year according to the CFS contract, step 1, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A6. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, and welcome to Nasreen Slim.
Action item number 7 is the appointment of a 6th grade teacher for Riverside Middle School, Ms. Marcy Novak. Ms. Novak is currently working on her doctorate of education at Eastern Michigan University. She holds a Bachelor of Science from Eastern Michigan University and a Master of Business Administration from Wayne State University. Ms. Novak has 12 years of experience in the field of education, ranging from classroom teaching to curriculum and instruction and administration. However, her true passion is being in the classroom and fostering the education of students through best practices.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Sabo.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Marcy Novak as a 6th grade teacher for the 2021-2022 school year according to the CFT contract, MA Step 6, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A7.
Support.
Ms. Fawaz. Okay, we have a motion on the table from Mr. Sabal, supported by Ms. Fawaz, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Marcy Novak as a 6th grade teacher for the 21-22 school year according to the CFT contract, MA Step 6, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law, see attachment 5A7. Is there any discussion?
Madam
All in
Chair.
favor? I'm sorry?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
just impressed by the candidate. You know, it's impressive to go off and get your MBA after your certification and everything, so I'm sure she'll do very well and very nice job identifying it.
I agree with you. Anybody else? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Action item number 8 is the appointment of an elementary media specialist, Miss Laurel Cash. Ms. Cash earned her Bachelor of Education from Florida Atlantic University and her Library and Information Skills certification from the University of South Florida. She has 35 years of experience in education with 25 years as a media specialist. Additionally, Ms. Cash has been voted Teacher of the Year for 2 consecutive years and is nationally board certified. She has served as a school newsroom director, team leader, professional development lead teacher, and has sponsored Battle of the Books and Photography Club. She is excited to be relocating to Michigan.
Madam Chair?
Mr. Nguyen?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Laurel Cash as an elementary media specialist for the 2021-2022 school year according to the CFT contract, BA Step 12, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A8.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor from Ms. Janoon, supported by Ms. Kaminsky, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Laurel Cash as an elementary media specialist for the 21-22 school year, according to the CFT contract, BA Step 12, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A8. Is there any discussion? Yes, the best of the best.
Another great
With
find.
that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Action item number 9 is the appointment of GSRP lead teacher, Ms. Victoria Ban. Ms. Ban has earned her BA in Communications from Eastern Michigan University and attended Madonna University for Child Development. She has 3 years of experience as a GSRP lead teacher, motivating children to learn.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Sabah?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Victoria Ban as a GSRP lead teacher at Cherry Hill Baptist Church for the 2021-2022 school year, according to the GSRP and tuition-based schedule, Step 2, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A9.
Support.
Was that you, Anisha?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor from Mr. Sabah, supported by Ms. Janoon, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Victoria Ban as a GSRP lead teacher at Cherry Hill Baptist CBC for the 21-22 school year, according to the GSRP and tuition-based schedule, Step 2, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A9. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, and welcome to Victoria Ban.
Okay. Action item number 10 is the appointment of a math teacher for Crestwood High School, Ms. Abir Akil. Ms. Akil earned her Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and Statistics from the University of Michigan. She has a passion for the field of mathematics and is extremely excited to have the opportunity to work with high school students and share her passion for this content area with them. Ms. Akil has utilized an extensive repertoire of apps to enhance instruction through the use of technology. Ms. Akil has also served as a math interventionist and designed and delivered district-wide professional development.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Elzayat?
recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Abir Akil as the high school teacher for the 2021-2022 school year, according to the CFT contract, BA Step 8, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A10.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor from Ms. Elzayat, supported by Ms. Kaminsky, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Abir Akil as a high school teacher for the 21, is it a math?
Math,
Math,
yes.
as a high school math teacher for the 21-22 school year, according to the CFT contract, BA Step 8, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A10. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Welcome to Abir Akil.
Action item number 11 is the appointment of a high school counselor, Ms. Haifa Massen. Ms. Massen earned her bachelor degree and 2 master's degrees from Wayne State University. She has 14 years of experience in the field of education. She is a strong proponent of individualizing plans and working with students in order to align their educational plans with their career goals. She has actively participated in processes and advocated for students through the IEP 504 and MTSS processes. She is certified as a Global Career Development Facilitator and is credentialed through the National Career Development Association.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Janu?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Haifa Massen as a high school counselor for the 2021-2022 school year according to the CFT contract, MA Step 10, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A11.
Support.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Janoon, supported by Mr. Sabah, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of Haifa Massen as a high school counselor for the 21-22 school year according to the CFT contract, MA Step 10, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. See attachment 5A11. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say to administration, great job getting this position filled so quickly, especially when there's such a shortage of counselors, so I don't know how you did it, but kudos.
Ditto. Any other comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Action item number 12, ratification of contract for AFS CME Local 1882.12, the Secretarial Bargaining Unit. We were notified by the AFSCME Local 1882.12 President, Ms. Gay Bowersock, that the Secretaries ratified the 3-year agreement. Thank you to all members of the bargaining team and the administration for their efforts at the negotiating table.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Zayat.
recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education accept and approve the 3-year collective bargaining agreement between the Crestwood Schools and the AFSCME Local 1882.12 as outlined in attachment 5A12.
I support happily.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Ms. Zayat, supported by Mr. Sabah, that the Crestwood Board of Education accept and approve the 3-year collective bargaining agreement between the Crestwood Schools and the AFSCME Local 1882.12 as outlined in attachment 5A12. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Sabah.
Just, this is, we don't do this often, but this is the time, in my opinion, to highlight the secretarial personnel we have in this school district, and I'm happy the administration was so quickly able to, again, we use the word equitable, do the right things and make sure that they're taken care of. So thank you guys, and I want to thank them for everything they do for the school district because they are very valuable.
Yes. I want to say I'm so glad to see another contract down.
It's the last one. All done.
Yahoo! Yes. Okay, with that, we already said the motion. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to all.
Yes.
Okay.
We have 2 informational items on the agenda today, which are just changing classifications. The first is for Ms. Fatten Rita, from paraprofessional to technology secretary. Ms. Rita has been with the Crestwood Schools for 7 years. She has strong skills utilizing MyStar, ASAP, and payroll and record keeping. She's comfortable with both Microsoft and Google and has strong organizational and communication skills that will assist her in being successful in this new position to support our technology department.
Yay, Mr. Green. Where did she work before?
She's a paraprofessional at Hillcrest.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Can I just say, I think they're gonna really miss her at Hillcrest.
Wow, okay. Well, congratulations to
Congrats,
Mr. Green.
Yeah, there are already a lot of people kind of upset with Mr. Green about this one.
Yeah. And congrats to Fatten, too.
Yes, congratulations, Fatten.
The second informational item is also a change in classification for Ms. Lena Mala from assistant manager to manager. Ms. Mala has been with the Crestwood Schools for 9 years. She's up to date with all certifications required for this new position, and she has also been subbing in this position since the start of the school year.
Well, congratulations to
Yeah,
Mr.
congrats
Mala.
to Lena.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Assistant manager to manager where, I'm sorry.
I believe this one is at the high school, no? Riverside?
Riverside.
The middle school.
Okay. Well, thank you for the update on that.
Lena at the middle school?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're moving on to the superintendent's
Yeah.
report.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Board. You know, after Penny and Linda go, it's like, you don't want to hear me now. Come on. It's been going on for so long. I have no action items. I do have some informational items and just some commentary. First, I would like to talk about Crestwood High School and traffic concerns. I'd like the community to know that I, as well as Sergeant Doddard and Chief Myers, Chief of Police, Mr. Myers, we've been in conversation about this prior to COVID, and then now that things have kicked back up again, and we're looking at some possibilities where we can put, we have to work with the county. So I've reached out to the county, and we're having the conversations to look at putting a light over on Beach Daily with a crosswalk, not an overhead walk, just a regular crosswalk with a light that would only function in the morning and then in the afternoon, so at arrival and at dismissal, to help with the traffic. Also, Sergeant Doddard has also rerouted a couple additional, patrol cars to be in that area to support. So we're in conversation. I'd like the community to know that. I haven't had a chance yet to speak with Wayne County Commissioner, and my apologies on that, but I will be in that process this week. I just wanted to speak to Sergeant Doddard and the chief prior to doing that. I want to thank our high school team, not just the administration, but the teachers and the students who put together a phenomenal homecoming parade. The whole homecoming event. And one of the most positive things about that was the responses that I received was that during the rally, during the prep assembly, students stuck around. I know they told me in the past students would try to sneak out, but they said students stuck around and they enjoyed it, and the pep assembly was fun and everybody had a good time. The parade was a very success. I want to thank all our city officials that were there with us. I want to thank the board for being there. And also the great thing with seeing these kids, I was mentioning to Trustee Kaminsky and Trustee Barry and Trustee Janoon earlier today that I was shocked at how many people knew who I was. Like they were saying, hey, that's your superintendent, Dr. Masan. Don't get candy from him. Usually say don't take candy from strangers. So they knew who I was. So honestly, that really made my day. That I'm happy to see that our community has been able to identify who I am in our district and what we're doing. And that's what this is all about. So thank you to everyone. Thank you for the entire, there's so many teachers that were involved and put in extra time to help with this. I don't want to start naming names, I'll miss people, but thank you to them. Also, congratulations to our football team who had a very nice victory over Garden City that evening. So it was a very prideful day, and I just hope that, and I know that this Charger pride is going to continue to grow. Oh, the floats were phenomenal. Alice in Wonderland, the juniors, they won. I always say that Alice in Wonderland takes me back to my childhood. It freaks me out a little bit, But they won the float contest, so that was awesome. And homecoming king was Yusuf Fawaz, and homecoming queen. The name is slipping me right now. Raina Mazer. Raina Mazer is the homecoming queen. So congratulations to them, and we'll see them again next year when they come and crown the next king and queen. A very important update, count day is October 6th, so we want to make sure all our students are here. One thing we are noticing with our numbers as we evaluate, a lot of our students who were overseas last year during COVID were still part of our instruction because that was allowable. A lot of these students who were overseas are still overseas, and now because we're not in the shutdown any longer, they have to be here to be part of our virtual programming. So we're assuming that a lot of them will be back at some point, but with the closed borders and all the COVID restrictions, a lot of them are stuck overseas. But count day is October 6th, and we really need the help of the parents to get our students in on that first day. And we'll send out constant reminders. We'll bug you with our email alerts just to make sure we have that happening. I want to thank the board again for your support and your discussions with us as administration on the hazard pay and your approval of the hazard pay today. As Dr. Morgan mentioned in her commentary, Dr. Morgan, I just gave you a promotion. As Mrs. Morgan mentioned in her commentary and the board discussed in their commentary, we all as a board and as an administration felt that this hazard pay was a positive thank you to our staff across the board for the work they did during the year and a half of such uncertainties. So Dr. Lazar will be sharing with all of the union heads tomorrow what that hazard pay is, as well as with the non-union head leadership, to those that are not part of the unions, and we'll get that information out to all of them tomorrow. So that information is coming.
And we want feedback on what they think.
We'll get you
I
feedback.
hope they're happy.
I hope so too. I hope so too. I hope so too. And like I think it was President Barry mentioned, and if it wasn't, I apologize. We wish we could do more.
Yes.
But we're trying to do everything we can to show our appreciation. Also, I know that Crestwood Federation of Teachers President Jim Stoddard has reached out to his executive board, and they're reaching out about the longevity and the signing bonus that will be coming to the board for approval to support our teachers, who are at step 12. With the longevity pay, as well as a signing bonus for all new hires in the 2021-22 school year. And the board discussed that. We discussed that in our last session. The board agreed to move forward, and Mr. Stoddard felt it would be important that he discuss it with his executive committee and then take it to a vote and then come back to the board for ratification. And we were fine with that. That's not an issue. But those that are watching know that there is something coming. Your executive board has all of the information, so please reach out to Mr. Stoddard and the executive board on the details. And we're looking forward to helping our teachers who are at step 12, as well as a signing bonus for all of our teachers that are coming in during this 21-22 school year. So we're excited about that. And finally, I want to thank the team. There's a lot of people who work behind the scenes, and I want to thank the Board of Education. There's something that the community doesn't know, and I want to say something. There's a lot of work that these individuals do as a team behind the scenes. I'm not saying that because they're the board. I think people that know me know I call an ace an ace. I call a spade a spade. I'm honest, but I'm respectful. I would like the community to know how hard these board members work, and I want to give President Barry some additional kudos, because since she's come into this role, she's been working to bring this board even closer as a tight-knit group, and I appreciate that. That makes my job a lot easier. So I do appreciate that. And when my job gets easier, then what ends up happening is we can do a lot more for the kids. So I want to thank Trustee Sable, Trustee Alziat, Trustee Fawaz, Trustee Janoon, President Barry, Vice President Kaminsky, for your hard work and your dedication. And I mean this with all due respect, that we're going to continue moving forward. And the community needs to know that behind the scenes, people are working very hard. So that is my update and my commentary. Did I miss anything, Dr. Lazar? Ms. Morgan? Mrs. O'Hara? I always have to check with them if I miss anything, because they're the ones that keep me in line. So I want to thank the board president, and I want to thank the committees and everyone for all their hard work. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any public comments, Mr. Green?
Kristen?
Yes. She has a public comment?
Yeah.
Oh. Can you please read the? Oh, there is a public comment.
Yep. Okay, so so I'm just going to read because he has us here, and I'm sure there's somebody in the audience as well.
No chicken scratch.
Oh, Michael, so you're not attending, okay, so I thought you were going to get up and speak.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you
Okay,
just
so let me read
the-
this first.
yeah.
Okay, I apologize. So this meeting of the board is held in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There's a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. This is not the time for debate or argument. Do not mention any student or staff names in order to permit a fair allotment of time to participants. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. The president may extend this time to 5 minutes per person when needed. Up to a half hour is provided for public input. Direct all questions to the board president.
Go ahead.
You want me to go ahead and start? I got a little timer right here, so I don't go over.
Okay, if you could just state your name.
Michael Hazimi.
Thank you.
I just wanted to address the board. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for all you guys do. But I wanted to address the board with regards to the mask mandate and what the effects that it's having on the younger kids, specifically in elementary school. So one of the biggest effects that I'm seeing right now is, we have to remind ourselves that this mask mandate is realistically in 2 places. It's in school and it's on airplanes. The rest of the places that we take our children is very optional. So one of the effects that I'm seeing is, specifically for my kids and nephews and nieces that attend the Dearborn Heights Public Schools, is they're associating the schools with being sick and being scared. And I feel like maybe we can do a better job of letting the teachers and everybody remind them that it's for their health and safety, but not that they're going to get sick from going to school. Another thing is, I think it was maybe the 3rd day of school. My wife went back to the elementary school to see one of our daughters for an issue, and the kids were out during recess, and they all had their masks on. And I believe that everybody's doing their best, reminding the kids to keep their masks on in school, especially in schools with no air conditioning. It's very hard, but I do believe that maybe we should do a better job. I would try, but I can't. But do a better job of letting the kids know that they can take these masks off when they're outside, getting some fresh air. I do believe that's very, very important, especially for the younger kids. Kids do as they're told, and we are their leaders and the people who are taking care of them. And I believe it is on us and our responsibility to remind the kids when it's appropriate for them to take it off and when it's appropriate for them to wear it, and not to be forceful and not to be mask police. These are just young kids, and I think that's something that I wanted to address, and that's all I have. So, thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to comment, Dr. Masalam?
Sure.
They're not mandated to wear it outside.
No, but I think, so, Mr. Hazimi, I appreciate your comments, and you make very, very good points. We will reiterate that we need to emphasize and educate our children, like you said, first and foremost, that school is a safe place, why we're wearing the masks, what's the purpose, so on and so forth. And I will also have conversations with the building principals about when they're outside at recess, so on and so forth. And I appreciate your comments, and we will definitely jump all over that.
I appreciate you hearing
Thank
it.
you.
No,
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, any comments from the board? Okay.
I do.
Go ahead. Please,
Close, we're closing comments, right? So I just wanted to ditto Dr. Mosalam's comments. I wanted to especially thank everybody everybody involved for a beautiful homecoming for the high school. I thought it was beautiful to see all the kids out there, and that was actually the first time I actually felt like the world was back to being a little bit normal. I had a good time myself. My daughter is a senior this year, so it was nice to see her being able to partake in everything that was going on. So a special thank you to all involved, and especially the community that came out to the parade and supported everybody in the parade, and we hope you got your candy. But just a special thank you to everyone. That's it.
Okay, anybody else? What I wanted to comment on was the open house. I was able to go to the middle school, high school. I'm sorry to the elementary because I had a prior engagement, but I was very, very impressed with what I saw. The support staff that was actually standing in this hallway, leading the parents, answering the questions, the surveys. I read through the surveys. That was really a really thoughtful thing to do, and to see that we are concerned with what parents think and with what the parents' needs. So it was an impressive open house at the middle school and the high school. The turnout was phenomenal. I had to park way down there. I mean, I didn't want to walk that far, but it was a good walk. So yeah, I just wanted to say you guys did the administration outdid themselves. Thank you to them. With that being said, any other comments? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, motion by Ms. Kaminsky, supported by Ms. Elzayat. Ms. Janoon, please take roll.
Berry?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you and good evening.